Among the Achaeans on the field of Ilium, one name drew great praise above all others, an option so great that his involvement turns the tide of the war, and his rage shakes the Trojan forces to their core. Achilles, dipped in the river Styx at birth and granted invulnerability. He truly was a force on those ancient battlefields. But how strong was he? Let us begin with his strength, a trait that is almost always attributed to Achilles. In the Illiad, and in anger at the death of his good friend Patroclus, Achilles bested 10 Trojan warriors in short succession, striking all dead before they could strike him back. This gives him somewhere in the wall ranges of power, but it's far from his most impressive feat of strength. Another is the threat he posed to the gates of the walled cities of Troy in Quintus Smyrnus's Fall of Troy, where he would have knocked down the gates themselves had Apollo, here under the epithet Phobos, not intervened. Giving the same benefit I gave to Samson, about similarly sized gates in Gaza, this feat would be somewhere in the small building levels of attack potency. Further backed by his wading through the rushing river Xanthus, and by dealing with the confluence of rivers intentionally trying to bury him beneath their tumult of sand, mud, and water. So Achilles sits somewhere comfortably in the wall to small building levels of attack potency. Up to building level if we take the flooding of the river Scamander all the way up to its highest possible degree. Durability-wise, does not matter. Achilles is stated to be invulnerable several times thanks to the tides of the river Styx he was dipped in, barring where his mother had grasped him at the heels. Take this, for example, from the Achilliad. Obviously, though, there are counterpoints to this. In the Iliad, a flying spear splits his elbow, and in older works he was pierced by multiple arrows. But the typical rendition of Achilles that rose sometime after the Illiad marks him as invulnerable, barring that point of grasping. But even discounting this, Achilles survived the previously mentioned flooding of the river Xanthus, hitting him with its full force, and whilst he had to be pulled from the bloodied water for fear of drowning, he was under no threat from the water itself, merely the depths of the flood. So taking the lack of invulnerability into account, he obviously scales to his attack potency. And now for speed, and thankfully we do have some speed feats for Achilles. One of the major ones coming as he is described running faster than a warhorse, which amounts to peak human speeds as the average speed of a horse is around 30 miles per hour. If you take Hector's comment about Achilles being far above him and the fact Hector dodged Achilles' thrown spear, Achilles actually has around double that 30 miles per hour speed, as a thrown javelin can exceed speeds of 70 miles per hour, and seeing the strength of Achilles, it's logical to take it at its highest end. This leaves us with an Achilles who stands firmly with small building to building levels of attack potency with invulnerability to most attacks, barring those to his lower legs, and confirmed building level durability if somehow the invulnerability is negated, with superhuman speed. Truly a force to be reckoned with on any battlefield of men, and one whom the gods, when they could not directly interfere in the fray, had to make several workarounds for. Now, obviously, this is just one man's scaling of Achilles. If there is something I missed, please don't hesitate to point it out, and as always, thanks for watching.